All right! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. With Crystal Durant. With Tommy Bonboy. Yeah, and we are going to be discussing our favorite live albums of 1975. Yeah, that's right. And I believe Tommy begins. Tommy starts.
I do kick this one off. All right.
Kick it off.
Okay.
So for 1975, I actually have a top 6.
Oh, you are ebbing and flowing.
I do.
Yeah.
There's really no telling what Tommy is going to do next, is
Anything's
there?
possible.
No. So any attempts at predicting it are fool's errand. All right, let's see. My number 6, I have... No, actually, before I get into that, I almost forgot.
Shit.
I have a mention. Merely a mention.
You almost forgot to mention.
Almost forgot to mention my mention. Okay, so my mention is Deep Purple with Live in Paris 1975. So my explanation for this is it's a decent track list, but it kind of sounds a little bit like the wheels are starting to come off, which they absolutely were.
Wasn't it Coverdale at that point?
It was Coverdale at that point. And I love Coverdale, especially from his work with Whitesnake. I don't really care much for his tenure in Deep Purple, but I don't really blame him for that. Was he going to say, no, I would rather not sing for this big famous band and make a name for myself?
Well, I don't blame him for it.
Of course he's going to fucking do it. But, so, all right. Now, here's the thing. So, I listened to all this shit, as I've been saying on these previous episodes. And this is how you know I listened to this shit. Because I listened enough that I noticed at the end of Highway Star, David Coverdale is actually singing, "Ooh, she got big fat nipples and everything."
Ew.
Yes.
That's what you thought.
That's what he's singing.
And you're like, fuck yeah!
No, that's not what I said. He is actually singing that.
What?
Yes. He changed the lyrics in Highway Star at the end. "Ooh, she's got big fat nipples and everything."
Oh, so it wasn't a Mondegreen.
No, he was really singing.
No, that's what I'm
it.
saying. That's what he's singing.
Okay, no, I misheard you. I thought you were saying that that's what you thought he was saying.
No. I'm saying that's how you know that's how you know I've listened to all this shit and put the work in, because I caught that at the end of Highway Star, which is already like, I don't know, fucking was 13 minutes or 3 hours or who the fuck knows what it was. But yeah, that's what he was doing.
That's what he's actually saying.
He's actually saying he changed it to, "Ooh, she got big fat nipples and everything."
Well, you know, it's whimsy. It's that British whimsy. You just never know what's going on.
No, don't you see how that's sexy, Paul? It's sexy. That's
sexy whimsy.
That's for the ladies, you see.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it's for the ladies.
It gets them in the mood.
Yes.
It gets them in the mood.
Gets them a mood, that's for sure. A mood.
Yeah.
A mood, not the one you want.
No, it's not.
Ugh.
All right, so my number 6 is Spinners Live by the Spinners. My number 5, On Your Feet or On Your Knees, Blue Oyster Cult. Yes. Yep.
Man.
I'm not even that big of a Blue Oyster Cult fan, but this is a cool fucking live record.
It's good.
Yeah. My number 4, Gratitude, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ah, yes.
Good Lord, they are on fire on this record.
As it were.
Jesus.
Yes.
I mean, this band, holy shit.
And even before Kiss did it, it has new songs on it.
Yes.
Studio tracks.
Yes. Yeah, one of them is a really good song, too. My number 3, appropriately placed, The 3 Degrees Live.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is a really fun live album. That's a lot of covers.
Yeah, it's like 90% cover.
Which isn't just a them thing. This was an often thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they really...
Their catalog wasn't that deep.
No, it wasn't.
No,
They had, like, their one big
albums.
hit, and then...
Yeah.
So it's like that song, one or two other songs that are theirs, and then, like, a bunch of covers. But they do everything justice.
They're good.
It's
Beautiful
good.
singing, beautiful
But they also...
singing.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that because they had this thing where they had this revolving door of lead vocalists. Like, by that point... The woman singing on that isn't the same one singing on those records.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so I didn't listen. But that doesn't mean it isn't any good.
It's still a hot record, man.
Yeah.
It would have been a great show to be at. It was really energetic and it sounded fantastic. My number 2, An Evening with John Denver.
I thought about that.
Thank God I'm a country boy.
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Yeah.
He's so
That-
much more than that.
Was constantly being played on the radio.
I'm
Boy, when that
sure
record
it
came
was, But Paul, I didn't exist then.
I know, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, that was, you heard that 10 times a day. That particular song from that album.
On every station.
On every station.
Didn't
You could, like,
matter.
flip from one station and the other station would be playing at the same time.
The end of it. It was, they even played it on black stations, too.
Yeah, it was on, it was the rock stations. It was always on.
But this is a good record. He
was really talented.
He was really great live.
Yeah. I mean, and when you listen to this is one of those live records where I'm listening to it and I'm like, I don't think they went back in and fixed anything, but he is just dead fucking on. Like, his pitch is perfect.
He has really, great
beautiful
pitch.
Voice.
He did. Yeah.
His vocals on this album, like any one of those could have been album takes.
Yeah.
He's just dead on, and there's some really, truly beautiful music on this. This one, it landed high on my list, but it landed that high because I'm listening to this, and I'm like, I'd never listened to any John Denver live. I only knew a couple of hit songs. I'm listening to this, and I'm like, God damn, this guy was a real loss. It's such a shame that he died.
Big time.
And he's probably a really good dude, too, from what I hear.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, though. Unfortunately, I think I wonder how, he died in what, like
1995 or something?
3 or 4, something like that.
Around there, yeah. In the 90s.
What would the years beyond that, had he lived, how would that have been for him? Would he have been one of those guys that suddenly everybody would gotten into and suddenly everybody would love?
I think so.
Because he was...
The music was there.
He was persona non grata when he died.
Well, sure, his career was in the toilet as far as popular, being a popular artist, but I think the people would have come back around to it because the music was there, and it seems, as far as I could tell, that he was actually a really solid human being. So I think maybe things would have come back around for him, and it would have been nice for him to have been alive to enjoy that.
He was like a human version of Scooter.
Scooter, it's exactly right.
Kind of. But this is the same dude that surprised everybody during the PMRC bullshit and showed up and was like, "Fuck you, censorship is bad."
Yeah.
And they're all expecting he's like this. The PMRC was like, he's going to show up and be on our side.
He's a hillbilly because he loves it. Yeah.
And he's shown up and he's with Zappa and Dee Snider, and they're like, "Whoa, John Denver!"
Yeah, I saw an interview with Dee Snider where he's like, "Fuck, man," he goes, I'm not a fan of John Denver's music, but boy, that guy, he's like, if anybody has anything to if anybody's going to come at John Denver, you talk to me first because John Denver is all right,
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my number 2, but my number 1 for 1975. I mean, gee, what could it possibly be? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
It could be literally anything. Any number of albums.
A wild stab.
Any. Let's see if you got it. Let's see if you got it.
A wild stab.
Uh-oh. How did you figure it out? How did you figure it out? It's because you saw my list.
I'm really tuned in.
You saw my list.
I was reading it, yeah.
What a good guesser.
It's the only way you could have known.
Yeah. I guess it's a good thing you mentioned it because somebody had to.
Exactly, because obviously you guys weren't going to bring this one up.
And I just happened to have this record just sitting there.
What an amazing coinky-dink.
Wow.
Who could have seen that coming?
This band,
Mm-hmm.
you should check it out.
Yeah. I've heard good things.
I've heard bad things, too.
Oh, yes, I have.
We've heard all kinds of things. We've heard
all the things.
A lot of things.
So Kiss Alive, huh?
Kiss Alive, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's not bad.
It's okay.
I get it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Liberace. For all my friends in Canada, K-Tel has put together this exciting album of some of my favorite performances.
Liberace in Concert, a classic collector's album.
You'll hear everything from Boogie Woogie, or maybe you'd like to sing along on this one. Are you singing? You might even hear classics like Chopin's Nocturne, the beautiful theme from Godfather, and one of my favorites, the Piano Roll Blues.
Get Liberace in Concert, 20 of his greatest performances, $5.99. Tape, $6.99.
I hope you'll get my album from K-Tel. I think it'll give you a lot of pleasure. It really is my favorite.
All right. Well, Crystal, your list.
Hello. All right, number 75. Okay. John Denver is one of my runners-up.
Oh, nice.
As my runner-up. I guess the only one, yeah. So, coming in at number 5, I have Kiss Alive.
Wow, number 5.
Wow, it
Number
made
5.
2 lists, huh? Fancy that.
Hard
Wow.
to believe, yeah. That's my number 5. Everybody knows about it. I don't need to talk about it. Coming in at number 4, I have Keith Jarrett, the Calm Concert. This was done in some kooky city, K-O umlauts L-M, I believe, in Germany. And it's his magnum opus. If you don't know anything about Keith Jarrett and you want to hear complete grandeur, listen to this live album. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's piano improv, Tommy's favorite. One of Tommy's favorites. And it's magnificent. It's beautifully recorded. It's really great. Coming in at number 3, I have Live with Bob Marley and the Wailers. So this is basically the live version of Natty Dread and Burnin', those 2 albums. And turns out that the live version of No Woman, No Cry was their first major chart hit outside of Jamaica. This is what put them on the map in America and Europe. And
Brought them into all the little frat houses of the U.S.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, you had to have Bob Marley's and the greatest hits with that side portrait with the lion.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Every
yeah.
college kid had that.
Everyone had the poster. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend.
Along with the Klimt poster and all that other horseshit. So coming in at number 2, I have Nighthawks at the Diner by Tom Waits. I know a lot of people hate Tom Waits.
Including Tommy Waits over here.
Including Tommy Waits.
Tommy waits his turn to do the hate
To discuss
list,
him later.
and I can bring it
To
up.
discuss him
Yeah.
later, yeah.
And I will say, as I've said before, that Tom Waits is definitely an acquired taste. But I enjoy him because he is a great piano player. He is a musician. He's not just some like outsider doing kooky shit. He's not Zappa. He's not Beefheart.
That's good.
I wouldn't even really put him. You know, some people lump him in with them,
I wouldn't.
and he's not them.
I don't think
at
that's
all.
fair.
He's not. It's not. That's not it. He, puts on this kooky voice and.
didn't get it.
The Singapore, playing like
Nailed it.
playing half a trombone in a bathtub, something like it's kooky.
I can't for the life of me figure out why I don't like him then. I don't understand. What could it possibly be?
So, 5 and dime, Cuban Chinese, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So what I really love about this is that the record plant in Los Angeles, he turned it into a jazz club. Another one of Tommy's favorites.
Tommy's going to go right to listen to this
Right
record.
to
He's going to
listen
go
to this on the way
straight in to
home.
listen to this record.
He had a stripper as an opening act and did a live show there. And it's Tom Waits. Either you like it or you don't. The end. Yeah, that's all I got about that. But my number 1 live album of 1975 is Count Basie Jam Session at the Montreux Jazz Festival.
Well, you just said a whole lot of words that turned me right off. Jam session, jazz festival.
Yeah. Count Basie Jam Session
Yes, it's fucking-
at the Montreux Jazz Festival.
It burns us. It burns us.
I'm just waiting for you to like, oh, my beautiful wickedness, and collapse into the floor.
I am wearing I'm all green right now.
See.
See?
So yeah, it's 3 songs on this album.
And it's a triple album.
And it's a quadruple album. No, it's only 3 songs, but it's a jam session. But it's Count motherfucking Basie at the Montreux Jazz Festival. If you appreciate good jazz,
Sorry. Paul just
count.
fucking trolled your whole shit.
No, she's the one who said quadruple.
Oh, you just say quadruple?
So anyway, if you're into jazz, if you like jazz, and appreciate Count Basie, and if you appreciate Count Basie, you should listen to this record because it's really good. It's really good. It's great. It is only 3 songs, but it's a jam session. But it's Count Basie.
See all this improvisation that's going on?
Count Basie.
This is a jazz version of an As It Should Be
Oh
episode
my
right now.
god!
So, my only question is, how is it that the bass player of the Upper Crust has a live album in the 70s?
Oh!
Fuck.
Shit, that's good.
Okay, are you familiar with the Upper Crust? Listen to our episodes. Like, what years would that would have been?
90s.
So, yeah, a few years.
We got
Any number of
Count
years.
Basie, we've got Lord Bendover, we've got Jackie Kickasses.
Yes.
Yes, and they were all at the Montreux
Distortion,
Jazz
yep.
Festival.
Yeah, and they were all at the.
See, what happens? It's been unusually warm
Oh,
recently, and I have bananas here. So
Fruit
a
flies.
couple of fruit flies have kind of.
So maybe,
popped
yes,
up.
we should have no bananas next time.
But
No, Mr.
yeah.
Tally Man. So that's my list.
Mr. Tally. Oh, what are we doing now?
Okay.
Is it over to Paul?
I'm gonna take a. are you-
Well, I mean,
Paul, take a break.
over to our sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pearl Drops tooth polish, 'cause it's nice and easy. Just brush it on every morning. Easy. Your teeth will be clean, nice. Pearl Drops leaves your teeth their brightest, their whitest. Pearl Drops shines. Oh, what a great feeling.
Does your tape collection look like this? Then you need a K-Tel tape selector. With special attachments, it fits conveniently in your car, stores all your tapes neatly, ready for easy selection. Tilt the first tape forward. The others follow automatically. Take your selection when it appears. When replacing tapes, Tape Selector automatically finds the proper place. In your home or in your car, protect your valuable tapes with Tape Selector, $4.99 from K-Tel.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, now I guess it's over to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time for you, Paul.
Oh, it's your time.
What are you going to talk about?
What you
I'm going to talk about some live albums.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I have 5 and I have no runners up.
Ooh.
She's got no time for that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have time for that bullshit.
No.
Tommy's gonna have no time for my number 5.
Uh-oh.
No time whatsoever.
Oh, boy.
You think he was coming after what you were just talking about? Lou Reed Live, which is the other half of Rock and Roll Animal.
Fuck.
It's actually-
I'm aware of what it is.
I'm
Yes.
telling them
Speaking to the
because they
people
don't
who
know as
don't
much
know.
about Lou Reed as you do.
Ah!
Now, yes, exactly. It's the
Zing.
same. It's the rest of the same concert from Rock and Roll Animal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And well, if you look at, I think it's the As It Should Be Instagram account, that the photo that I have on that is a takeoff on the cover of Lou
Oh,
Reed
yeah,
Live. That's
yeah.
what that's about.
Oh.
So yeah, so thus making this Lou Reed related. So you're involved in a Lou Reed related project.
That's a dick move, man. This was
Stealth.
stealth Lou Reed. You know what? Stealth Lou Reed. Now all we need to do is find out Lou Reed put out a fucking jazz album too.
Oh, wasn't that what the Metallica record was?
No one knows what the hell that was.
All right.
Anyway.
Anyway, well, number 4, Blue Oyster Cult, On Your Feet or On Your Knees.
I don't like that.
I do like Blue Oyster Cult, and of course, that's a good record. Yeah. But coming to number 3, now, this. The sensational Alex Harvey Band.
I
Live.
don't like this album.
Oh man, see, do you like them at all?
No, and it's at the same time that my friend Jay, that turned me on to that Mott the Hoople record, tried also turning me on to this album too, and it did not work.
Didn't work.
Mott the Hoople stuck. This didn't.
Well, Mott the Hoople's more kind of like just straight up rock and roll record. This is a little bit weirder, but it's like a rock and roll record, but it has weirder elements to it. But I really like the Sensational Alex and Harvey Band, and I like this record. My only complaint is that it doesn't have Midnight Moses on it, which is essential. I mean, fucking, how could you not?
Who dropped that ball?
But man, give my regards to the chef. Give my compliments to the chef. Give my compliments to the chef. That track alone is, this album's worth it. But number 2, I'm probably going to mispronounce any number of bits of this title name. Georgie Ben with A La Olympia.
Okay.
Georgie Ben. George.
Oh, that's Jorge.
Well, I don't think so.
George.
That's how you spell Jorge.
George.
Yes, well, he's Brazilian.
George Ben.
And and it's just
George.
it's a really great. I kind of gotten into him recently. That's who we have down here. That's this guy.
Yeah. Oh,
That's Georgie Ben. You know.
Portuguese, you say?
What's that?
Did you say he was
Brazilian?
Portuguese or Brazilian?
No, he's Brazilian.
Oh, George.
Yeah, George. And it's just a really good, live Georgie Ben album. And but he has this one song in here called Taj Mahal. And this is 1975. It has the exact same melody as Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh.
But it's an entirely different song. It just has the da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, that's interesting.
kooky.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean... But, okay, so... For my number 1... This album is...
Oh, no.
It's called Kiss Alive. Is what this album is.
Get
It's called
out of
Kiss
here.
Alive.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's called Kiss Alive.
This is your number 1?
It's by this band called Kiss.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's got this band on it, Kiss, and on the album are their songs.
Oh.
But they're live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hence the reason to call it Alive.
Exactly, Alive.
Oh.
They were alive when they made this record.
Yep.
This was prior to the.
Yep.
Yeah. So of course, fucking Kiss Alive is my number 1.
Cow.
Yep.
Chicken.
Ring. But that album was revolutionary.
It really was. That there were big live albums prior to that. The Who Live at Leeds was a big record. The Stones album was big. You had the Allman Brothers album, that was a big album. But this is really what kind of kicked off the craze for live albums.
And it made them. That's what put them on the map.
Yeah.
They
We wouldn't
toured
have-
and they played and whatever, but that shit, the whole... I mean, how do people still not know this?
Yeah.
It was crafted to bring that live vibe to people who couldn't see them because...
Their studio albums they fell short. I mean, I love those records and most Kiss fans do love them, but people back then, they were just kind of hearing this band for the first time and they weren't already taken in by them and they were kind of underwhelmed by the sound of those records.
Well, I mean, especially if you compare, like, for example, Firehouse on the album at 45 BPM versus the version on Alive.
Yeah. But I mean, I've read comments from them where they said fans would literally come up to them and be like, "Why don't your records sound like you guys sound? Sound the way you sound, And
that was that.
There we go. That's how they got around that. Mm-hmm. But
the beginning.
But it's funny though because they put out a live album to give you their live sound because they were unable to get their live sound in the studio. But they went into the studio and re-recorded a bunch of it and got their live sound. I don't even know.
We shall never unpackage this.
Totally
it's
crazy.
Too much. There's too many layers here.
There's too many layers here.
I'll
I don't
never
know.
understand.
But it worked.
Yeah, but this is also another one of those live albums that gives you the feeling of being there.
Now, how much do you think they actually replaced? Because I've heard that basically everything but the drums has been replaced.
You know what? I don't even know.
And I wouldn't doubt that. Probably not to that extreme, but I'm sure a lot of it was replaced.
Well, it's Kiss, so I mean, pretty much as much underhanded stuff as could possibly be going on, it's probably going on.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
But the end result is this album that really kind of does give you the feeling of being there.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid just listening to this record, and my imagination just ran wild listening to it. I could see the concert in my head as I listened to it, And that's a mark of a good live album.
Yeah, it is.
You're not getting bored. You're literally sitting and listening and imagining the show.
It definitely sparked your imagination. And for people who didn't see them previously, this was the thing that made them go see them. That's why they sold out and played, I don't know how many loops on this just one record.
Right. Well, then they went out on a Kiss Alive tour. Like, they were on the Dress to Kill tour when they recorded this, but then they went on a Kiss Alive tour.
Yeah.
And then then they're playing bigger shows.
Everybody and your mama saw that show.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking A. Yeah, because my friend's parents actually went with us to the show.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't avoid Kiss from that point on.
Yeah, that was
pretty much.
That was the beginning of the end. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, number one.
Number one.
When American Sound says all around, they mean 3 great locations: Sunrise Mall, Florin Mall, and Freeway Close at Watt Avenue and Highway 880. And they mean all around in stereo systems. Everything you need, like this great Sansui system with a full-size record changer, these big 3-way 12-inch speaker systems, and the Sansui AM/FM receiver. A fantastic system, and at the American Sound price of only $333. Only one of over 120 systems in the $200,000 inventory. American Sound all around Sunrise Mall, Florin Mall, and Watt Avenue at Highway 880.
Jaws. Jaws is the game where you try to fish out what's in the jaws of the great white shark.
I'm going for the camera. Made it.
But be careful, because if you remove the wrong piece, the jaws will get you. And you're out. Jaws. It's you against the great white shark and each other from Ideal.
Okay, all right, we're back. I think we're gonna hate some 1975.
Oh, we sure are.
That ain't jive.
No, it is not.
That ain't no jive.
So I've got a bottom 3 this time around. Starting off with Lou Reed Live by Lou Reed, and what I wrote for this is just the word nope. That's all I wrote was nope. Yep. Yep.
So you accidentally put this on your hate list, huh?
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Accidentally, my ass. All right, my number 2. I've got Another Live by Utopia.
Yeah.
And I wrote for this, the songs just aren't there. Not sure how they thought a live album was a good idea. I'm not even trying to be a dick. I'm being genuine in that statement.
Their first 2 albums were live albums.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get the Utopia thing at all. My number 1, surprise, surprise, Nighthawks at the Diner by Tom Waits. And for this I wrote, I knew this was going to suck before I even listened to it, but I did it anyway for you. Yes, I listened to Nighthawks at the Diner, and it in fact sucks.
You can confirm this.
I can. Yes.
You can confirm.
Yes, one of them said can confirm. So over to you, Crystal.
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
Give me some of that.
It.
Yep.
I mean, I don't. What? Yeah, it's not good.
So you guys aren't standing on a corner with me, huh?
No, we're definitely
Suitcase
not.
in my hand,
Nope.
ready to leave town because I can't stand this record. I'm catching the Greyhound bus to get away from it.
Okay, well, I actually have something that we haven't discussed yet.
Oh shit.
It's new.
Old and in the Way.
Oh.
Old and in the Way. Yeah, Old and in the Way. Any deadhead knows what it is. It's great. It's Jerry Garcia and a bunch of other randos doing these just sort of this bluegrass record. I'm not going to say a bad bluegrass record, It's not for this is
not for you.
a quintessential not for me record.
It's not for me.
I could imagine maybe if I liked bluegrass, if I liked this kind of music, if I was really into Live Dead and bluegrass and all that kind of stuff that you would need to be into to like this, maybe this would be my number one. Maybe I would love it because it's probably not badly executed, but this is so not for me. I can't even begin.
Yeah.
And yeah.
At a certain point, I just stopped bothering with the Grateful Dead mentions because it was just going to be there's an endless parade of Dead adjacent albums or Dead live albums, and I'm just like I've made my point.
You're probably not going to find that one that's going to be like, whoa,
now I
else
get
entirely.
it. Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
I don't. No.
I like
not.
bluegrass music, old, authentic bluegrass music, not this.
But you're not old in the way.
Not this. I'm not saying that it's a slap in the face to traditional bluegrass, but they sprinkled their oxamoxo on
Their
it. Or whatever.
their deadisms.
Yeah.
Oxamoxo.
What's that record called? Oxamoxo, whatever the fuck.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't
sucks.
matter. It's like missing a finger nastiness. It's not good. I don't like it. No, sir.
No,
I
sir.
don't like it.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Big gnaw.
When I fall in love, I'll have a sweetheart like Michael and Melinda. I want us to be like the young sweethearts. We'll hold hands and talk. We'll picnic and have fun at our secret tree. We'll play in a world where wishes come true just for two. When I fall in love.
They're Michael and Melinda, the young sweethearts dolls. Their wishing well park is sold separately, with love from Mattel.
When Barbara and I want to feel peaceful and serene, we turn on our wave.
And when we feel lighthearted and sparkling, we turn on our gem light.
And when we feel turned on to each other,
we turn on our lava light.
Cast a spell with products by Lava Simplex. We've got emotion for every emotion.
All right, we're back, and we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out. 1975. Thank you for hanging out and getting pissed off about us discussing or hating all the albums that you love. And
if you're not used to it by now.
Yeah, and well, thank you for hanging out, even though you're pissed off that we didn't mention whatever prog album you love or whatever
If
I don't know.
you don't know
there's going to be something that
now, you will never know us.
There's going to be something in there that we didn't mention that you guys are going to be like, how could you not mention that? That is the blah, 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 blah. Look down right there on the table in front of you. It's on your list. That's where it is. It's not on ours. These are our lists.
Yeah, you can't have them.
Yeah.
Except we just gave them to you. Shit.
Well,
I walked into that, didn't I?
Yeah, well,
anyway.
All right. Well, we probably should get out of here then. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. But if you haven't, then you're wrong. And you should. And if you do, click the little bell notifications. And come back next week because we're going to be discussing our favorite albums, our favorite live albums of 1976.
Bicentennial year.
Ah.
Yay, America.
See you then.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
And of course he was going to be free.
yeah, he didn't have a gig.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to have a gig.
Woo-wee.
Hey,
I'll be putting that in the...
Yeah, that's not going to show up as a blooper. Or will it?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
All right.
All right, so now we're moving past our usual... this is our 5th episode of the day.
6th.
No, 6th. Yeah, no, you're right.
We are.
It's our 6th.
We are moving right along.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we? Let's get into it.
Shall.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, there we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well,
All right.